Search intensifies by the day for Nancy Guthrie. Now FBI confirms multiple suspects but does not yet name them. But why?
And I've actually seen an uptick in that type of behavior. So they said,
know.
Mom, why we don't want to wait till you're dead. We want you to give us our money right now. And what's the big deal? You know, we're going to have to pay taxes on it. We can get more for our money now. And they were just nonstop on their mom, trying to get her to give them her inheritance. And she ended up just doing almost the opposite.
Inherited.
Interesting. I mean, statistically, though,
Yeah, let's listen
it
to
doesn't really, there's not normally just random people kidnapping old ladies, right?
Nope.
I mean, that doesn't happen.
Nope.
If you're gonna kidnap someone, do you really want someone that you have to actually physically carry around? No. I mean, you know, you have to be, well, criminal.
I didn't even think about that. The mom can't even walk more than 50 feet. So, yeah, somebody would have had to carry her around. And yes, I've seen Born in East LA. Funniest movie ever to this day. Savannah needs to keep close to Annie, and I hope she does. I hope she does. Maybe it wasn't her and the husband did it, but I doubt it, because what would his motive be?
Sophisticated criminals are strategic and they think things out. This sounds like a half-baked or an impulsive or very emotional situation that occurred.
Interesting. Today, there was more searching around the house, I saw.
No.
There was like 7 deputies in a field. And I mean, there's cactus around here. It's pretty kind of brutal walking through these fields. But, and then last night after I talked to Maureen, there was a helicopter that was up for about an hour, very low, just right around Nancy's house. What do you think? I mean, do you think they're getting like new information, or?
I really hope that Banfield is not being irresponsible. And the reason I even brought this up is because, and I already told you, I changed my intro. I put in the description, this channel is in my opinion and my commentary only. I don't think Banfield is trying to be irresponsible. If you look at the stations that she's talking to and the people, they're very reputable. And some of them seem to know the source and they're confirming that that was said. So I'm just saying we don't want to mess up the case, and it probably shouldn't have gotten out there that soon. But I hope that Banfield didn't just go around and do some reckless thing that messes up the case. I don't want that from any of us.
You think they're just going back to double check?
Yeah, or a dog is hitting on something, or they were talking to someone who said they may have heard something. You know, one of the next door neighbors' camera may have turned on at a certain time, or a motion light, and they didn't know why. And you know, but I've been on way too many grid searches. So they were all in a line, right, walking in the same direction.
They were.
Yes, so they're grid searching, and that can be really brutal, especially in the desert. I've done a lot of that too. They're definitely looking for something, and when we would set up to do a grid search, we would be very targeted in where we were, why we were there, and which way we were headed. And sometimes it's just to check an area off the list. Another time it's because they found something before when they were there last time, and they thought it could be this or that, and it turned out to be something interesting. So now they're going back over it.
And that happens sometimes too, but I have a feeling not. Is there evidence that she's still alive? Gene, law enforcement is not telling us much, but they are saying that they believe she's alive due to her medical, and right, it could have, she has a pacemaker that was hooked to whatever, and they could monitor it. That's what they're basing it on. Now, I don't, it's not in writing that it says that, but it's in writing that law enforcement, as of today, believes that Nancy Guthrie is still alive. Why did they believe that? They're not telling us.
See if there's anything else.
And sometimes it seems people are found close to home.
I do too.
Yeah, well, and they're also found very close to the road. Like, for example, in LA, the Angeles National Forest is like what I would call a rather infamous body dump area. But what a lot of people do not realize is that the bodies are often very close to the road, because bodies are very hard to carry. Some people put the body on a blanket and drag it, and you can get it a lot further doing it that way. And people learn that from hunting and stuff, from hunting deer. You can roll the deer or whatever onto a tarp and drag it and get it a lot further than you would if you were just, you know, dragging someone.
Ashley Banfield has been on News Nation for years, and now her last show was last week. I've never seen her just do some reckless thing. But now that she's not working for a news station anymore, it's a possibility. However, why do all the other news sources feel like it's credible? And why is law enforcement insisting that nobody is in harm's way? How could they know that if they don't know who it is? They don't know who it is. I don't, it doesn't make sense, but I do pray that she's found alive, you guys. I'm hoping it's not the family. I really am. But we know it's someone close to her. People don't go into some house that it's hard to find, long driveway, no one else around, and kidnap 84-year-old women that they have to carry because they can't walk more than 50 feet. It's just not plausible.
By their ankles or something. I'm not saying that happened to Mrs. Guthrie at all. I'm not.
I know. It's just, she's such a sweet looking,
Ugh.
like grandma. You know, like every time I see the photo, I see why the whole world is invested in this case, because it's like you think about your own grandma.
Yes.
I think about my mom. Well, I'm
Yeah.
older than you, but you know, just sweet, kind, lovely, and just for this to happen to her, you know, I mean, I'm sure everyone can see this has really affected me. I care for a lady up the street who's the same age, like the same size, and it's just, if anything like this happened to her or any, you know, being a law enforcement officer for decades means you're a victim advocate for decades. People think that we're salty and we're rough around the edges, etc., but it's because we've seen a lot. And when we see
Amen, sister. Amen. I'm none of those things, but when you see all of this stuff all the time, it's very easy to say, this is what happened. I see what people are saying. You read the between the lines, and that's how it's going down. I mean, FBI visited Savannah Guthrie's sister's home searching for Nancy, and that's why people are saying that. Let me show you now. I gotta show you the reason why Ashley Banfield is saying this and her source. And I'm not sticking up for her. If she's wrong, then I'm wrong. And all the other news sources are wrong. FBI agents visit Savannah Guthrie or Annie's house, sister's house, in a desperate search for mom Nancy continues. All right, let's take a look at this. I haven't showed you any of this about them searching the sister's house.
Disappeared on us. Police revealed
Hold on.
us.
Don't do that to me.
Is
Hold on.
in Arizona now fear it was a possible kidnapping or abduction. The local sheriff said, "I can't think of the last time where in the middle of the night, in someone's bed, an 84-year-old woman disappeared on us."
Yep.
Police revealed to the Los Angeles Times that blood was found in Nancy Guthrie's home in Catalina Foothills outside Tucson. There were also signs of forced entry in her million-dollar house. Nancy Guthrie, age 84, is reportedly sharp as a tack, but has limited mobility and takes daily life-saving medication. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos had this message to the possible kidnapper.
Just call us. Let her go. Just call us. Family would tell you. There's no questions asked here, and the family tells us if she doesn't have those meds, it can become fatal.
DNA evidence is being combed over to identify whose blood was found on the property. Nancy's left-behind cell phone is being probed for clues, and neighbors were asked to check their surveillance cameras. Savannah's sister Annie didn't see any red flags the night she reported missing. The two had dinner on Saturday, January 31st. Meanwhile, Savannah asked her 1.2 million Instagram followers for prayers. Raise your prayers with us and believe with us that she will be lifted by them in this very moment. We need you. She ended the post with a plea: bring her home. Savannah was due Friday, February 6th for the Winter Olympics opening ceremony, but Page Six can exclusively reveal that she is set to drop out of NBC hosting duties amid this family nightmare.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. So, I mean, they've got a lot of information out right now about Annie and her husband, etc. FBI agents were spotted at Savannah Guthrie's sister Annie's home in Arizona on Tuesday. What are we on Wednesday, guys? They went back again today. So FBI went to Annie's house with Tommaso on Tuesday, and now they're back today searching for clues, searching for the missing mother. Law enforcement, including FBI agents and sheriffs, were photographed leaving Annie's home after a 2-hour meeting on Tuesday afternoon, where Savannah is also believed to be. Officials said nothing as they left the property. All right. And then there they go again. FBI agents were spotted outside the home Tuesday afternoon. We see them.
Great things happen when you make it happen. When you create your own opportunity. You find the limit and go further. So when we want it to be the menswear essential.
I had to pull that down. I don't know what happened, but yeah, something's not right. Let's finish up this suspect or no suspect. You guys can decide for yourself. And we'll just keep watching the breaking news coming in.
See this, it really hits home, and this is hitting home for everyone. One thing, when you're getting ready to do a grid search, and we did a series of these for children, and on one instance we found the child. When you're doing a grid search and you're looking for potentially a human body, you don't know, you can't imagine the mindset of finding that. You really want to find this person because you want to give closure to their family, because we care about the victims. But you don't want to find it because you know you will never, ever be able to unsee what you see in that instance.
Yeah. So that's what's going through their minds probably when they're doing these searches.
Right.
And knowing also that the attention of the world is on this.
Yes. Well, we don't really care about that. I mean, I guess you want to do a good job. You always want to do a good job, but like simple things, even having breakfast that morning, you're like, I don't even want to eat much. And then you're like, you could be out there walking for 8-9 hours straight. You need to bring a bunch of water and you've got to eat something, because you don't know when you're going to be able to eat again. And then it just becomes more like putting gas in your car as opposed to enjoying a meal.
All right, we'll finish this up. People are so funny. It's so crazy to have 4,000 people in chat, and even 1,600. We've got trolls saying weird stuff and people saying, I'm out of here. Chat's crazy. It's like, what?